Have you ever wondered why it is that some dudes are always looking for a slightest opportunity to humble women? In most of these situations where we see men trying to humble women, usually it's just a projection of their own insecurities. And it has nothing to do with the woman, but everything to do with the man attempting to do the humbling. One of the main reasons is that they want to have control and power over that woman. And this just goes to show how insecure they are, because when a weak man like this sees a confident, strong woman, it brings out his own insecurities and triggers him. They know she's not easily controlled and easily manipulated, so they try to have leverage over her by humbling her and asserting their superiority, all to avoid feeling weak and insecure. Their insecurities are so obvious that when they see someone else happy and confident, it triggers their insecurities. So now they need to bring this person down to their level because they can't stand the fact of someone being more confident and happier than them. And here are a few phrases that men will typically tell women to try and humble them. You're not that special. How many times have we all heard that one? He knows that she's special, and that's exactly why he's telling her, because the fact that she is special, she has something different, something that he wants, but he can't have it. So again, he tries to bring her down and humble her. I like natural beauty is another one. Now, there's nothing wrong with a man desiring natural beauty, but it all boils down to your tone, your delivery, your words, and ultimately your message and how you choose to convey it. Let me put myself as an example just to elaborate on my point. If I'm having a conversation with a woman that's wearing makeup and literally out of nowhere, out of left field, I just start telling her that I like women with natural beauty, I don't like makeup, out of nowhere, no one asked me, and that wasn't even part of the conversation. And if I even go as far as telling her, you probably go from an 8 to a 3 without the makeup, you probably don't look as pretty without the makeup, etc., that is where the difference lies. That is clearly a condescending message with a condescending tone. Compare that to if we were sitting at a table with a group of friends and beauty standards start to arise and we start talking about beauty standards, and someone asks me, yo, how do you like women? Do you like them to be fit with makeup or no makeup? What's your take on that? And if I responded with, personally, I prefer them to be naturally beautiful. If they want to add makeup, that's fine. But I prefer a woman with natural beauty. Big difference. Big difference. And that is how some dudes will try to humble women. Oh, you're not an 8 without that makeup. Well, bro, shut up. She ain't wearing that makeup for you anyway. I've never been one to believe that it's in my position to humble someone. I can care less. I don't care if you're humble or not. If you're not humble, I'll probably just stay away from you. Life will humble you eventually if you really need it. That is not in my position.
One red flag that is a very subtle red flag is a man that tries to humble you. I was dating this guy one time, and great guy on paper, but he always tried to humble me. My question was, what in me intimidates you so much that as a potential partner, you would feel the need to humble me? So I quickly exited that relationship because I would never want to be with someone that feels the need to humble me.
So let me tell y'all about the time I dated a guy who hated me. This was like back in 2019, and I was dating a guy who was a bit younger than me, roughly 5 years younger to be exact. Well, after we had been dating for a while, I let him move in with me. I know, bad decision on my part, but I had let him stay with me, and prior to all of that, he had introduced me to all of his friends. Well, when his friends first met me, they thought that I was very beautiful. They thought I was very smart and strong and wise and all kinds of great things. But I noticed that anytime I would try to accept a compliment, he'll be like, oh, I already said it for you. Or if I was in their presence and they gave me a compliment, he never looked happy, like he wasn't proud at the fact that they were complimenting me. I don't know, I guess he thought they were trying to get with me or something. I don't know. But anytime something exciting happened, or if I accomplished something, or I would tell him about something I was passionate about, he just seemed like he didn't care. And he would say, oh, that's good, but it was never genuine. But one thing I noticed was throughout our relationship, he always tried to do things to humble me. I noticed that he would say things like, okay, simmer down, simmer down. I would love to dress nice anywhere I went. So if we were going somewhere, even to the gas station, he would be like, just wear what you have on. I would have on like a pair of pajamas and a shirt with no bra. And when I tell you, he would hate it when I would be like, hey, let me put on something more presentable. He'll be like, no, just go the way you are. And he would even insist on me getting out of the car. Anybody who knows me personally, you know that I don't like going anywhere looking like just anything. I don't have to always be a Barbie, but I want to at least look presentable. But it seemed like he was always trying to make me look bad. So when we eventually broke up, I started to look back on those moments and be like, you know what? I'm grateful that this is over, So if you're a guy or a girl or whatever, and you have a partner that's always trying to humble you, they don't like you. Heck, they may even be secretly jealous. Who knows? But if they are like that, run.
No matter how good of a woman you are, you'll never be good enough for a guy who isn't ready to be a man. You could be the perfect woman and do everything right, and he still won't appreciate you. A real man is gonna change his ways for a woman he really wants to spend the rest of his life with. Never stop being a good woman. Someone is gonna appreciate that one day.
If you're a woman with low self-esteem and you are like a partnership-oriented person and you keep finding yourself in relationships where like the guy is just making you feel like shit, I want you to be careful of the microaggressions and like secret hatred that some of these men will have while dating you or sleeping with you. It took me a long time to figure out because like why would you date someone or sleep with someone that you like act like you hate in all of your other actions? And it's because I'm realizing more and more that especially straight men who like don't self-reflect and aren't held accountable that much, they will take whatever they can. So they can know like probably on a soul level and like that you're like too good of a person for them. But they're also seeing these like vulnerabilities that they're able to manipulate and you needing emotional care, you needing things from them because, you know, reciprocation becomes too much for them. And also, sometimes they just really don't like your personality. Like, they're just miserable and don't like themselves. So then they get with, like, women that they're sometimes jealous of. And they just treat women like shit. And so it's in subtle behavior, you know, making fun of you all the time when it comes to your looks, never supportive. There's, like, an imbalance of, like, how much they're mean to you compared to, like, how uplifting they are to you. They don't see you. It's like you're invisible. Even when you're with them, they're seeing right past you. They're thinking about something else. They're never interested in what you have to say or bring up. They don't really know you as a person. So when that is happening, let them go. The sooner the better because they don't care and they won't care. If you leave the door open, they will walk through that. And I always think people who move that way, like when they're 50 and their 60s and their 70s, like they're going to be alone. Or they're going to be with people like them. Or unfortunately use another person. So get yourself out of that cycle.
Hey, folks. Rhode Island, Minnesota, Indiana, Pennsylvania, Colorado, California, New Jersey, Ohio, Nevada. There's the first repeat. California, Missouri. Um, I'm laughing because I'm 15 minutes late because after doing that video yesterday where I'm like, you can do the social media. Don't worry. It's easy to figure out the whole thing. I could not get my laptop to do anything I wanted it to do. So I had to turn it off and figure out what was going wrong. It just never quits, does it? Washington, Little Rock. You know how I feel about Little Rock? I made a wish in Little Rock once that came true. I'm still living on that wish. North Carolina, Myersville, Maryland. We're waiting here on Facebook to kick in. Wheeling, Illinois. That's an interesting one. Canada, Michigan, Shenandoah. Oh, what a beautiful part of the country. St. Paul, New Mexico. I hope you guys are doing all right. And lots of floods in New Mexico too. Lawrence, Kansas, and Facebook appears to be here. Minneapolis, Asheville, South Carolina, Los Angeles, Lebanon, Connecticut. All right, I think Facebook is here. It's funny because you're not showing up as if you're here, but it says you're here. So, okay, there we go. All right, I realized today that I always ask for questions on Tuesday because I sort of don't know what's on people's minds, but I haven't been asking for them on Thursday because by this time of the week, it feels like the story of the week is pretty clear. At least it seems that way to me. So if you want me to ask more, I will on Thursdays, but I just had no doubt what I was going to talk about today. So let's dive into it. Really interesting week that we have had here. And if you think about it, what has really jumped out to me, so I sat down this morning to take notes as I always do, and I had 3 single-spaced pages of notes about stories from the last 2 days that I thought were important that people should know. 3 singles, and these weren't paragraphs, these were jotting down notes. And as I looked at them and began to group them into different pieces of a story, it did seem to me like there's a pretty clear story, at least for this week. And that is that if you think back to last week, a week ago today, July 3rd, the House passed that budget reconciliation bill. And it was
Yo, let's talk about these dudes that be trying to humble their women. Any women, but especially their women, or the women that they want to be with. I saw somebody say once that men who try to humble you hate you. And I low-key kind of agree with it. And let me tell you why. So, like, I'm my woman's biggest fan. Like, I expect the most of her, and I think she can be the greatest person. I personally think she is the greatest person. I'm just waiting for everybody else to find out about it. And then I thought, maybe you think that if other people find out about how great your woman is, or if your woman knows how great she is, that will give her other options. So the question is, are you not great? Do you know it? Do you feel like you're getting away with something and you just don't want her to find out that she could do better? And therein must be the fear. You must be afraid that she'll find out about you what you know about yourself, is that she could do better than you, which means you should start working harder on yourself, not trying to lower her expectation of what she should have. Like, let's do better than that. Like, what's wrong with you? And if you're with a woman that you think you should humble, that she should come down to another level, what does that say about you? I think anybody trying to humble you is not on your team. And I'm not talking about like correcting ego or helping you become a better version of yourself. I mean people who are trying to forcefully make you feel smaller than you think you can be. Be careful out here. Some folks got a different agenda. They're not trying to grow, they're trying to shrink you.
Why don't you ever talk about the men that don't pay child support?
Because it's women like you who spread your legs for guys like that. Why don't you ever talk about the responsibility of women who choose irresponsible males to procreate with and then complain later when they're irresponsible?
No.
The women who have a one-nighter with a bartender or a guy on a motorcycle or a musician, and then you complain later on the guy's a deadbeat. He was a deadbeat to begin with.
Why nobody can ever talk to you, because you don't let
People talk to me all day long. You can't talk to me.
No, I'm trying to talk to you, and you're talking over.
Dear, don't tell me how to do a radio show. I've been doing this for 25 years. I don't need your help.
Oh, okay. Let me. Can I please just say this? I was married once before. Okay. Mm-hmm. My husband and I had a child together.
Right.
After I was tired of him beating me for 2 years, I left him.
Really? But why did you tolerate it for 2 years? Can you tell me why you tolerated being beaten for 2 years? I'd like to hear about this.
My answer to that is because I was young and stupid.
Okay, I agree with you.
There you go.
You were stupid. No doubt about it. And now what are you going to complain that he doesn't pay child support? A guy who beat you for 2 years? Imagine that. The guy is irresponsible.
Right.
He beat me for 2 years, and now that deadbeat doesn't pay.
So why is it my
There's your big concern. Now we see why you're so upset about this. You chose a manifestly irresponsible, violent individual to procreate with. Then you're amazed that the guy doesn't send you child support.
He didn't beat me until
you're still, you know what, dear? You were young and stupid. Now you're old and stupid. I mean, you're still stupid.
Oh, my God. You
are still stupid. You expect a guy who beat you for 2 years now to suddenly become responsible.
I cannot even believe
You're insane.
It is unbelievable.
You can't believe what?
I can't believe that you're still on the radio.
I'm on the radio because I'm right, and I'm on the radio because I've got millions of listeners. That's why.
Yeah, well, you've just lost one.
Dear, you're not the target demographic. I really don't give a rat's ass. I'll bet your husband would agree with me. I'll bet your ex-husband would really agree with me. She hung up. Look at that.
In my experience, oftentimes when a woman has high self-esteem, standards, and boundaries, a man who doesn't meet those standards, instead of just moving on and finding someone that he's evenly yoked with, he tries to knock her down and humble her and make her believe that she doesn't deserve what she wants and what her standard is, because he wants that woman, right? Because she's high quality, high value. I'll give you examples of how my ex used to try to humble me. I would say if he ever cheated, I would leave him. He would say, "Oh, that's crazy. You would throw away everything that we have. That's so stupid. That's such a waste." I'm like, "No, you would throw away everything that we have if you cheated. So no, not on me." He also would say that I wouldn't behave the way that I behaved if I didn't have the body that I have. He would say, "Oh, you wouldn't act so cocky if you didn't have such a fat ass." And it's like, no, I'm not cocky. I just have a standard. But he didn't want to get better and meet me where I was. So that was his tactic.
Yeah, but that's not why I would only like you.
So why would you like me? Because you didn't answer that.
Because you can bring something and add something to my life. But because you're a liability, you can't add anything to my life. You would be a liability to everything in my life.
So what can I not add to your life? What is that?
You can't teach me anything. You can't help me with my finances in any way. You can't add any intellectual anything into my life. And it's not because you're not capable, it's just because you're not there yet.
Young.
You're not there yet.
Right.
And if you're not already on that path,
I'm already on it. That's the problem. You don't know enough about me.
you're absolutely right. I don't know enough about you. You said you have Airbnb
Good
properties.
luck with the other girls back there. You're messing up. Oh, next. Oh.
And I can tell that you're triggered, and that's okay.
I'm not triggered, sweetheart. You are very handsome.
We can work through this together.
You
Please
said I
put your
can't
hands
bring
down.
you anything, so it's like,
Right.
there's no need to talk.
You can't bring anything right
now. Good luck with the
now.
other girls.
Say, okay, and this is why your immaturity will prevent you from being with a real man.
No, I've dealt with real men
Because you're not
before.
listening to me. You're trying to talk over
Go
me.
ahead, I'm listening.
Adults have conversations.
I'm listening.
Okay? So if we were to get together, you would be asking me questions like, Dr. Elam, what did you do to acquire everything that you acquired? What did you do to learn everything that you learned? What type of habits and skills do you have?
You're handsome for
Sure.
one.
You only like me